Good morning. So this is a reading for Taurus, dating November 5, when the moon will be conjunct the asteroid Koronis. You know, that sounds a bit like a coronavirus, like Corona, because it is Koronis. Um, Something about the story about being crowned. Right? Corona means crown. So, what do you call this? Very interesting, because I didn't know that, I didn't notice the moon we're having an eclipse. I believe it's a solar eclipse. So this November 5, I'm not sure because the sun is the opposite. The sun here is the opposite of the moon will be opposite of the sun in the charts. So usually that signifies an eclipse, and usually that means that actual permanent change or something like that. That's what I remember. I'm not really sure, but it usually often signifies change. Like changes everywhere, I know, but that's what it is. Okay, so Koronis is the focus here. So Koronis is a story about unexplored talent. She was about forgot the story, but basically it's unexplored talent, things that are hidden, things that we take for granted, things that skills, gifts, any abilities we take for granted. God, hiding or twisting of the truth, white lies, telling lies, protection, prevention, telling tales, so tall tales rather. So secrets and revelations, discoveries, unexpected or shocking news, cheating, giving in, potential to adapt and or find courage, sleeping with people or someone, wounds that cut deep, resistance to wounding or pain, infidelity, insults, ingratitude or in something. That's that's interesting. There's two words there. Okay, falling in love, following your heart, forgiveness and self-forgiveness, punishments, vengeance or revenge, fear of shining or being seen, uh, late bloomers, latent abilities, so divine natural abilities, prophetic abilities, guarding, watching over people or things, telling on someone, being tattletales, for example, healing and self-healing, things that are too late to save or repair, regrets, shame and honor, disobedience, honoring the dead, suppression and oppression of gifted children or people, special needs or gifted children, unwanted and or abandoned children, bastard children, so-called adopted children, the unseen or the invisible, catalysts, warnings, heeding or not heeding someone's advice, omens, later manifestations of life, so hidden gems or beauty, a hole in the wall, underdogs, unseen conditions, invisible symptoms, conditions, illnesses, inability to heal, medicine, giving birth, posthumous births and or people or children, miracle births, pregnancies, especially cesarean pregnancies, okay, incisions, forms of resuscitation, cardiopulmonary resuscitation, EPR, fluid replacements, H's and T's, mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, neonatal resuscitation, life support, so anything from, I don't know, I forgot what these stands for, um, BLS, ELS, ACLS, ATLS, PALS, for those who are in the medical field, you know what that means. Guardians, midwives, and midwifery, surveillance, so physical surveillance, electronic, social media, financial, biometric surveillance. Any tools for that as well, so including anything that's cars, vehicles, GPS, binoculars, audio recorder, cameras, computer, VPNs, tracking devices, track records, report cards. Oh, that's interesting. Report cards. Assessments and examinations, rescues, rescue missions, mission failures or successes, lovers, love and or extramarital affairs, sparks, flints, flames, funerary pyres, scorching, especially heat scorching, lightning, funerals, again, I mentioned that already, bent or twisted objects, pliable objects, so anything pliable, oddly shaped objects or tools, assassins, assassinations, murders, crimes of passion, forms of criminal punishment, deterrence, um, incapacitation, retribution, rehabilitation. Those are kinds of forms of criminal punishment. Messages and messengers, information, ravens, messages sent by animals, pigeons, homing pigeons. So messages and animals, any sort of messenger animals. Snail mail, the Pony Express, anything to do with that. I know that's the past, but it can be brought up again. Post riders, dog sled mail, Afghan cameliers. This includes fresh milk, goat milk, unpasteurized milk, goats, grazing animals, pasture land, mountains, grassland, guard dogs, preventative measures, backup plans, or Plan B. The Corvus constellation. Somehow this came up. Um, so invisible symptoms are big ones, medically speaking, because it's in Taurus. So any sort of thing related to the ears, nose, and throat area. This here, throat area, the neck, probably the back here, the nape, those kind of stuff. Any sort of invisible things, or maybe latent conditions, that may be part of that one as well. So this probably includes autonomic nervous system conditions, neuroplasticity, neurons, neurogenesis, synapses, sleepiness or narcolepsy, autoimmune diseases, invisible diseases, again, like I mentioned before. Examples would be like fibromyalgia, chronic pain, rheumatoid arthritis, diabetes, celiac disease, lupus, Sjogren's syndrome, migraines, headaches, Crohn's disease, Alzheimer's disease or dementia, ADHD, autism spectrum disorder, dyslexia, traumatic brain injury, anxiety disorders, borderline personality disorder, depression, PTSD, schizophrenia. Okay, a big number for this one of note is number 5. You hear 5, you get 5. That's a number associated with Koronis. A bunch of other numbers too, but that's the main one. So anything to do with hidden things, so hidden nutrients as well, hidden vitamins, hidden potential, all that kind of stuff. Days of note, Monday or Saturday. November 24 is Natural Unique Talent Day. That's a big one. Okay, so it's about your talents as well. Mycelium Network, I'm not sure about this one. So places, vocations, or people with these conditions like mycologists, for example, virologists, microbiologists, those who work in the little things. These are unseen as well. So healers, mystics, shamans, people who are kind of unseen, support teams, career counselor, coaches, sometimes teachers, nurses, cardiologists, a mushroom farmer. Okay, jobs with assistants, construction workers, traffic police or guard. Places of note: the Meghalaya caves in India, Valley Valley do Javari in Brazil, the Sondu cave in Vietnam, Mount Mabu rainforest, Kamchatka in Russia. That is in the easternmost part of Russia, I believe. Yep, close to Alaska. Fiordland National Park in New Zealand. Cenotes of the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico. Northern Forest Complex in Burma, Papua New Guinea. Anywhere there's land and pasture as well. Okay, grasslands as well. Okay, I'm not going to go further than that. That's what I'm getting here. So it's really about your gifts. I didn't get to do anything psychically before anything or channel anything before this, but I would say this is a time for healing the wounds regarding self-worth, because this is tied to Taurus. So when it comes to self-worth, look at your hidden gifts, things that you probably feel are hidden, but if you just become more quiet, you'll notice that there's something else there. Go back into nature, go back into building things, and you'll find that there's more gifts behind the gifts, behind the gifts, behind the gifts. So you never know. Explore, but don't force it. Just do what you can. Like do what the Taurus does. That energy of Taurus, right? It's just kind of just going things day by day, right? Pasture by pasture. You got that.